let's figure out where. Yeah, this is about what it was.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good job. That's what you get from Massey's box.
That's fine, I'll find her later.
Hello friends, it's Kim Passable. I'm here with my friends, and we are at the Philadelphia Transgender Wellness Conference, and we were there all day. It's Friday, and we are relaxing after a hard day of confronteering. Did I make another new word, or is that?
No, that's
I think that was the same one as last time.
You didn't introduce us last time.
Oh, that's because this is Jessi,
Hi.
and this is Quinn,
Hi.
and they're wonderful. And how do you identify?
I identify as a trans woman, she/her.
And Quinn?
Me as well. Actively a transgender woman. Like I'm very specific about that. And my pronouns are she and her.
And I'm Kim Passable. I'm trans in public, so you should know that already if you're watching this channel. We talked a little bit about the conference and how things are going. Was there anything that stood out to you that was that you hadn't seen before that the conference brought into focus, or?
So there's bringing into focus, and there's just building awareness, and I think a lot of things were brought to my attention that I'm now aware of. Focus comes from exploring it further and doing some research and talking to people and figuring out how that actually relates to folks that are in my life. So it was neat to get exposed to a lot of different things. Like that pluralism that we were talking about before,
Yes.
or exploring ideas about how to age gracefully and be transgender, and how to be aware of like career options or realities that you have to deal with. So
Yeah, and
I like just that it gets the wheels turning.
the one presenter had a really great idea for people who kept misusing pronouns, and he gave out voucher cards with stamp type things like you get when you get a haircut. 10th haircut you get free, and it's the 10th proper use of he him, and you get a free Starbucks coffee, or
I thought that was brilliant.
give one to a homeless person in your name. If you don't feel like you want to be greedy about it. And I think just having that physical thing makes you remember that, like, okay, this must mean something to this person because they're giving me a card. Like, they must get this a lot.
Yeah, they're willing to double down on it. And
Yeah,
I was like, that's
like
really cool.
here's my pronouns. So, and he said that people seem to understand that, and I could see where that could work. So
You reward people with good behavior. It's just,
yeah, perfect. Free coffee.
I actually thought
It's
that was
just
very, very
basic
clever.
psychology.
Anything that you can think of?
I just got here, so.
All right, so there's
yeah.
lots to see.
There's lots from I mean, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow anyway, because I know I have a lot of friends who I want to meet up with and stuff tomorrow. So.
Great, yeah. It seems like a great place to meet up with people and make new friends as well. So, I mean, the place is just swarming with all types of trans men and women, and clearly there's a large cast of non-binary people in attendance. I didn't know if that would be something that was well represented, but it clearly it is.
Oh yeah, because they're part of the community as well.
Absolutely, and because everyone's name tags have their pronouns, so there's plenty of they thems, which is I think I've gotten pretty comfortable using they them now.
Yeah.
It only took a year.
There was a number of things that I was at this last year, and then to this year, I saw a huge increase in non-binary folks. I think that's kind of coming into its own and getting general acceptance now, and so it was an underrepresented population before, but I think it's actually getting its just desserts now.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least in this type of venue, is that they're obviously recognized that this is a place for them. And
what this conference represents is a model for what the world should look like in the near future. I desperately hope that we can get to the point where I can walk from this street corner that I'm on 2 street corners away and see a lot of other people who are like me and will smile back and will feel comfortable around. And this is my chance to live it now, but I hope that this becomes the other 364 days a year. So.
Yeah, well, at least, I mean, for some people, I think maybe this is their only opportunity
Yeah.
to live it. Maybe they're not living their truthful time yet, but they know that this is a safe place where they can go, and then maybe they haven't found a community yet that's accepting.
As I told you before, like I would dress up at anime and vegan conventions before I came out because that's the only place I felt I could do it comfortably and not be judged for who I was and actually walk around and feel like, feel like Jessi, feel like who I actually was.
I'd say it seemed like there was a mix of people. There were some people that looked very squirrely and uncomfortable, that maybe this was not something they had.
It might be their first time.
Yeah, maybe
Yes,
the first time.
maybe. And but there was
Always that social anxiety.
so many more people that were with friends, were confident, were very friendly. You just say a few words to somebody and it's like your old friends.
It took me a long time, girl, to get this confident.
Really?
Way back when I started, I was one of those squirrely people.
These
we all start out that way.
These
Yeah.
type of events can be a catalyst for people, though. Like
Yeah.
it can be just the nudge. Like I'm thinking about doing a thing, creating a company or service or whatever, where basically I'll be the friend to somebody who wants to explore cross-dressing or maybe is in the very, very early stages of transition.
Yeah.
They sometimes just need that one person to like help them get out the front door of their house, literally get from 0 to 1. And I think that these type conferences, and I hope I find them everywhere. This is kind of the biggest one, I think, but it'd be cool to see them on a more modest scale in a lot of different places, so it's accessible to more of the population, so that they can break inertia, so that they can just say, I think this is me. I want to try it on for 2 or 3 days and see how it works.
Yes.
And do I feel more comfortable? I personally, after doing this for years and years and years and years and years, feel more comfortable here than I do, the rest of the year. There's something in the air here, and it's exciting. And I hope everybody gets to get that
It's
experience.
kind of why I live in West Philadelphia. I love West Philadelphia a lot because there's actually a big trans community there. Like, if you go to, out during the busy days on, Balmer Avenue or wherever in West Philadelphia, you'll see trans women everywhere. It's crazy. I've just never been able to experience that in my life, going out in public and seeing other people like me.
That is
It
really
feels so comfortable. Like I never want to move away because of that.
Right, well that's like my hometown in the suburb where I lived before I moved into the city in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm like the only trans person for miles around, you know what I mean? I'm the only trans person people see, and generally people are nice, but like I'm definitely an oddball. So it is kind of nice, like I'm just another in the crowd here, which is, it's great,
Well, a lot of that, that's another thing that I heard in a session. If you are the only one, sometimes that's an opportunity to connect with folks too.
Yes.
And this was mentioned in the transitioning in mid to late life. One of the things I brought up in the question and answer session, they were asking about people's experience, and I was like, well, one of the things I like doing, because I have a job with a fairly high responsibility, I like telling people about it because they meet me as a trans person, and I feel like people make kind of knee-jerk assumptions
Yes.
about. I don't think they leap to sex worker right away,
Yes.
but they're assuming that you're a barista or that you work in a funky bar or that you have some sort of service job and you're barely making it. And I'm always like, no, I have a degree, I have a professional job, I'm a meaningful, active, good citizen and member of society, and I'm also trans. And that's part of doing the Lord's work, right?
Yeah.
Getting out there and just kind of.
That's what excites me about being a flight attendant is I get to be a lot of people's first interaction with a trans person and try and make that a positive thing so they get that in their head oh, that person was really cool. Just be kind of a representative.
Excellent. I think this has been wonderful. I think that we have to do this every year.
I agree. This is by far, and I mean, if you've been listening to us, I don't think that we need to give it much more of a pitch. But honestly, this is my do not miss event of the year. This is my do not miss event. I enjoy this. It's wonderful people. It's a wonderful city. The city's been really kind to us. We were moving around last night, just me and Kim. We went out for a walk, and us just being us, weren't met with any kind of negativity. Nobody gave us a second look. We were just us here, and man, that's heartwarming. It really is.
Yeah, Philadelphia seems like a wonderful town. I'm definitely the weekend for it. But restaurants and the places that we've been so far, people didn't even bat an eye. Well, I don't know, that place over in Chinatown, there a couple of people kind of gave us a little bit of a look. But then again, I'm a 6 foot tall
It's
woman.
only because I'm that gorgeous. It's fine.
We are gorgeous. When do you see
Wow.
three
They
beautiful
were
women like
in
us?
awe of Jessi's white leather.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little flashy, I know.
Yeah, especially into the summertime. God. Whew, it's a good thing
It's
the
fine.
air's on.
I don't sweat really that much, so. Yeah, I like standing out too. Admittedly. It's one of the things they asked me during like the face-to-face interview with my company was, what's one word to describe you? It's unforgettable. Because of the way I dress and everything like that. So
Indeed.
personality too. Maybe. Who knows?
I think I won't forget you.
Aww.
I have a punny name, that's the only thing I
Well,
got going for
no,
me.
I would recognize you.
Quinn, you're just,
I'm Quinn.
yeah, you're completely. It's like, oh, you didn't mean, if you met Quinn, you would know.
Yeah, well, if you've seen Quinn, you know her. If you saw
Yeah,
her.
if you saw her on Facebook, you'd know you knew her. I need more questions, huh?
I guess so.
Dead air.
This is the good thing
7
about
seconds
editing.
behind the world.
Yeah.
Well, she's on her phone and I'm going to grab a vape.
That's the good thing about editing.
It's like Johnny Carson, those mugs, they didn't have coffee in them.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Woo! Did we decide which party is better?
Well, she wants to go to the more popular one, and I'm definitely more inclined to go to the more popular one so I can talk to more people.
I've talked to enough people that are going to the more popular the sanctioned one, that I'd rather go to that one anyway.
I want to get laid.
Well, Kim is singularly focused.
Who doesn't, though? Who really doesn't? Yeah.
Take it or leave it. It better be good or else I won't sleep.
How do you know if it's going to be good in advance? You kind of got to do it and then rate it after the fact.
If it's not, I'm going to be mad because I could have been sleeping.
Wow.
Oh, man. Get out of here, you're cutting into my sleep.
I mean,
Really? Like, is that it? I lost an hour and a half of sleep for that.
Man.
I've been on Grindr with you for 2 hours.
An hour and a half. Oh, sex with me only lasts about 6 minutes.
well, I mean, I
If they
go
do
for
it right.
hours.
I'm kidding.
If they do it right. Woo.
No.
And sometimes you don't think it's going to be any good,
You're
but
wrong.
once they're like,
The only time
boom, you're like, ooh,
The
here
only
it
time
comes.
sex with me lasts like 6 minutes is if it's really, really bad and I have to
I
get
gotta
out of
go.
there.
Like, whoo, I'm gone.
Are you
Wow.
done yet?
Later. Sorry,
Whew.
it wasn't my thing.
Damn.
Dear God, turn that thing off.
I'm gonna cut that out. Nobody wants to hear about our sex lives.
And I'm still talking to